Coverdale Bible, the second book of Moses, called Exodus. What this book containeth. Chapter 14. Pharaoh followeth upon the people of God, which delivereth his own, carrieth them through the Red Sea, and drowneth the enemies therein. The 14th chapter. And the Lord spake unto Moses, and said, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they turn about, and pitch their tents before the valley of Erot, betwixt Migdol and the sea toward Baal-zephon, and there pitch the tents right over by the sea. For Pharaoh shall say of the children of Israel, They cannot tell how to get out of the land. The wilderness hath shut them in. And I will harden his heart, that he shall follow after them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon all his power. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord. And they did so. And when it was told the king of Egypt that the people fled, his heart and his servants were turned against the people, and said, Why have we done this, that we have let Israel go, that they should not serve us? And he bound his chariots fast, and took his people with him, and took 600 chosen chariots, and the other chariots beside that were in Egypt, and the captains over all his. For the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, that he followed after the children of Israel. And the children of Israel went out with an high hand. And the Egyptians followed after them, and overtook them, where they had pitched by the sea, with horses and chariots, and horsemen, and with his power, in the valley of Herot toward Baal-zephon. And when Pharaoh came nigh them, the children of Israel lift up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians went behind them, and they were sore afraid, and cried unto the Lord, and said unto Moses, Were there no graves in Egypt, that thou hast brought us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou done this unto us, that thou hast carried us out of Egypt? Is not this it, that we said unto thee in Egypt, Leave off, and let us serve the Egyptians? For it were better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness. Moses said unto the people, Fear you not, stand still, and behold, what a salvation the Lord shall show upon you this day. For these Egyptians whom ye see this day, shall ye never see more forever. The Lord shall fight for you. Only quiet yourselves. The Lord said unto Moses, Wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel, that they go forward. But lift thou up thy staff, and stretch out thine hand over the sea, and part it asunder, that the children of Israel may go in through the midst of it upon the dry ground. Behold, I will harden the heart of the Egyptians, that they shall follow after you. Thus will I get me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon all his power, upon his chariots and horsemen, and the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. Then the angel of God that went before the armies of Israel removed, and got him behind them. And the cloudy pillar removed also from before them, and stood behind them, and came betwixt the armies of the Egyptians and the armies of Israel. It was a dark cloud, and gave light that night, so that all the night long these and they could not come together. When Moses now stretched forth his hand over the sea, the Lord caused it to pass away through a mighty east wind all that night, and made the sea dry, and the water divided itself asunder. And the children of Israel went in through the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the water was unto them as a wall, upon their right hand and upon their left. And the Egyptians followed, and went in after them, all Pharaoh's horses and chariots and horsemen, even into the midst of the sea. Now when the morning watch came, the Lord looked upon the armies of the Egyptians out of the pillar of fire and the cloud, and troubled their armies, and smote the wheels from their chariots, and overthrew them with a storm. Then said the Egyptians, Let us flee from Israel. The Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians. But the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand over the sea, that the water may come again upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots and horsemen. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the sea came again before day in his course and strength, and the Egyptians fled against it. Thus the Lord overthrew them in the midst of the sea, so that the water came again, and covered the chariots and horsemen, and all Pharaoh's power which followed after them into the sea, so that there remained not one of them. But the children of Israel went dry through the midst of the sea, and the water was unto them as a wall upon their right hand and upon their left. Thus the Lord delivered Israel in that day from the hand of the Egyptians. And they saw the Egyptians dead upon the seaside, and the great hand that the Lord had showed upon the Egyptians. And the people feared the Lord, and believed him, and his servant Moses.